Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first and foremost, yes, the market is taking a little bit of a dive. We do see the overall market cap is down about 6.39%. Down about roughly $956.91 billion. Bitcoin is sitting at about 22.6K, down about 23.44% on the 7-day span, and down about 10.85% on the 24-hour span. Now, of course, HBAR, or Hedera, if you will, has been taking a little bit of a leap, but we are up about almost 5% off of the lows today. On the 7-day span, we are actually still down about 24%. And I do believe that we could come down lower. And you guys might be wondering why, what is going on? Well, it's just price action ahead of the FOMC meeting. I know that today is basically like a full moon. I am recording this ahead of time, so price action could most likely change dramatically. But we did hit my buy range on Hedera slightly, and we could actually jump over to the chart here right now. So here we have my buy range getting tapped slightly on HBAR, but I think that we could come down and actually test this 5-cent zone. So I'm actually waiting to buy in this 5-cent zone. I did not have buy targets set up, or like buy alerts, if you will. I'm actually still waiting for this to hit around like the 5-cent zone. I do have a few buy orders in place for the 5-cent zone, and I do think that that is a nice test going all the way back to the yearly support level. If we do come down a little bit lower, then I will welcome that. But in my opinion, I think that the 5-cent to 6-cent zone will be our low for Hedera. Now, from our price range right now to those nice lows, this would be roughly about a 27.29% drop on HBAR. I think that that is something pretty, significant. But when we look at where Bitcoin could head down to, so I did outline Bitcoin slightly on my XRP video, really kind of addressing this and talking to you guys about it as well. Basically saying, hey, we could come down to roughly the 200 or the 300 weekly moving average. And just to show you guys what that would look like, here you have the 300 weekly moving average at about 16.5K. And from our level right now on Bitcoin down to that range, you're looking at roughly around like a 25.37 drop, meaning if Bitcoin dominance does allow it, we could definitely see 5 cents on HBAR. And by the way, I'm going off of this 300 weekly moving average simply because that is where we wicked down to back in March of 2020. We don't need to go there, but I would love to see it go there simply for buying opportunities on assets like HBAR. And I have been addressing these buy ranges for a while. Now let's talk about Hedera and let's talk about this current market, because obviously, are we in a bear market structure? Yes, 100%. But it doesn't mean that fundamentals change. We do see here, HBAR is perfect for developers. Why? It offers top-class services like Solidity-based smart contracts, consensus, and token services. Fundamentals do not change during a bear market. And of course, we do see our application use cases. You guys do see all of the major use cases there. And of course, you do see, through consensus services, token services, and the smart contract services, these are all the major, HBAR network services that do allow for, some major use cases to really kind of be defined through these. I'm very excited to see, Hedera really kind of continue to build even in the bear market. I think that these opportunities in this market are going to be generational bottoms where we will see some major, upside potential on them. I mean, for an example, like, we look at HBAR, right? At these bottoming levels, going off of like we'll just say like if we come down to the 5-cent zone, I know that I'm kind of changing this a little bit from the topping of my buy range or my demand range. This to my levels up here, almost like $3 range, right? So this is like basically $3. It is a 60x opportunity. Now, again, when we look at this and we really kind of, address where we basically are in this market, we look back in time and you really, when I say like, listen, you could have, for an example, we go back to like March of 2020. I know that March of 2020, HBAR really wasn't here. I know that it might have been on, so it actually was on a few exchanges, I'm pretty sure, at that time. I might be wrong. I don't know. So, yeah, actually, here we have it. So, here's the March of 2020 drop on HBAR. I was looking at the Binance chart. They actually didn't have it at that time, but we do see that from those bottoms to the top, this was about almost a 30x return off of those lows back there. Now, again, where we basically are now, and really kind of looking at this from an overall viewpoint on the fib levels, like I've said, the bear market bottoms, or I should say, if we do bottom out like roughly around that 5-cent zone, if we have this massive bottoming point on HBAR from the all-time high down to this range, it would be a 91.22% sell-off. And if we're talking about the upside, like I said, even if we go to like the 1618, this is about a 50x opportunity. But in my opinion, we could outreach to roughly the 3 to 6 zone. And if we're talking about like the 3 to 6 zone, and here we have like almost $6, right? So let me actually go to the $6 range here. Exact $6. You're looking at about 120x opportunity on HBAR. And yes, I do believe that this is possible. Again, a little bit more conservative would be the $3 range. I think that that is a little bit, more, possible, but it is still a 60x opportunity. This is why these major moves in this market are huge opportunities. These are life-changing opportunities that we are getting. Now, of course, we do see over here, it's official. We are proud to announce that 1 million mainnet accounts have been created on the Hedera network and still growing. We can't wait to see what the future holds. See you all at 2 million. I also don't know why Twitter unfollowed HBAR. Oh, okay, that was kind of weird. It like kind of updated in real time. It was weird. But yeah, I think that this is great. I mean, honestly, when we really kind of look at this, and also here's like a breakdown of this from Cooper, who is the CTO at Galaxy App. And we really kind of see the entire breakdown on this. You love to see it. Honestly, when we really kind of look at things happening around Hedera, it truly is something special. We are continuously seeing them build out, and we are continuously seeing them hit milestone after milestone. You love to see it, especially even during like things like a bear market. When, this is the time where, for example, you will see companies be separated from blatant scams to massive utility giants. And we are seeing that really kind of be clarified from Hedera's standpoint. Also, I have been really kind of looking at the transactions. I've seen somebody bring up the fact that like transactions on Hedera are dropping rapidly. We are sitting at about almost 4 billion transactions, total accounts. I know that this isn't fully updated, as you guys do see. Like if I refresh this, the total accounts are not like at 1 million, and I know that they are just celebrating 1 million mainnet accounts. I want you guys to understand that this, in terms of like clarification, basically this is entities on Hedera, so entities can be files, accounts, tokens, etc. So again, that might be why we're not seeing like 1 million being updated here. But what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is the transactional volume. So let's actually go to the 1 year span. And I know that a lot of people have been saying like the transactions are dropping massively. I want you guys to understand that this is going to happen when we do see price action the way it is. We will just see these networks not be utilized as often. Like for an example, like Ethereum is a perfect example of this, right? Ethereum NFTs were skyrocketing, the network usage was skyrocketing, and now we're not really kind of seeing that major demand around those specific areas. So we will basically see the transactional flow drop rapidly like this, especially at around these times. But I also want you guys to understand that this is why we also see, prices on, for example, like POS networks drop rapidly. Like, for example, Ethereum is down like 30% just because of the use behind it, the utility, if you will, is down. The utilization is down. So again, just to kind of clarify, when we do see this, it's just because of, market sentiment, and, again, we're just not seeing major usage of the network itself. So I hope that kind of clarifies that for you individuals out there that were wondering on that. Now, we also do see here 1 of 5, the Coupon Bureau is launching a basic coupon wallet that we will have in the market for any of the providers that don't have their own apps. All of it is based on verifiable credentials. And of course, we do see down here we have all the legacy providers connected to the Coupon Bureau to be able to create and execute these offers. We've got all the major clearing houses already connected and ready to settle these offers. Our last mile has been, connecting retailers, and we do see down here. Here's a major update. Shout out to Danny Ide for this, by the way. The Coupon Bureau, a nonprofit centralized data exchange connecting all stakeholders to the new Universal Digital Coupon Positive Offer File. 225 billion annual CPG promotional spending, 1.7 billion annual coupon redemptions, $100 million plus in annual coupon fraud. And we also do see on the second slide here, thank you to our advisors and partners. Here are their major partners as well. And we do see Hedera basically being labeled there next to all these other major partners. And these are the use cases that I actually want to go live and will basically spark these transactions to some nice new heights. Again, we look at this and we look at some of the transactional flows on Hedera in just the last 24 hours. We're not seeing major transactional flows through, some major use cases here, which again tells me that a lot of the transactions that are on the network, for an example, we had 4.6 million transactions just today, not today, this month alone. It's not that massive, and even today on the 1 day span, we're at about 14.6K transactions. And a lot of the transactions that we are basically seeing are just from a few entities here. I want to see a day where on the mainnet, and I do think that this will happen with use cases like this from the Coupon Bureau, where we do see in terms of the number of transactions on a daily basis in the last 24 hours, we will see hundreds of thousands to even millions of transactions from multiple use cases. I want to get to that point where Hedera basically is a massive giant in terms of transactional flows. The days that we aren't really kind of analyzing transactions in billions and we're starting to analyze them in hundreds of billions, that's going to be the day where we really kind of celebrate Hedera. Because right now, we're still very early on in terms of the transactional demand. Hence why we're only seeing in terms of the daily amounts, we're in the 20s of thousands. And we really want to be in the hundreds to millions in terms of transactions per day. And we will get there in time. It's just going to take some time. I noticed going back 1 year in terms of the transaction demand, I remember back in July and even recently in January when we were at 130 million plus transactions for the month, everybody was celebrating. But honestly, I just couldn't help but think what are we going to do when we're at 130 million transactions per day? Because that is going to be inevitable right now for Hedera, as we do kind of see use cases like this basically building on Hedera. We do see here when she says we have content coming in July, Procter & Gamble is fully on board and already has content put in. Casey Corp has content. We've had commitments across many of our retailers and their suppliers, agencies, and so forth. And we do see here why Hedera Hashgraph. Hedera augments fraud mitigation solutions through a combination of game-changing and unique functionalities unattainable by alternative public distributed ledger technologies, verifiable timestamps as well. We also do see over here tamper-proof real-time analysis. And then also followed up with this is, I'm not going to say, which large brand. Another one that's really been interesting to me are conversations that we were having with two of the largest e-commerce platforms right now. Probably Shopify, honestly, I would say is one of them. These e-commerce platforms are huge, and a lot of them do have coupons that you could utilize. I don't know. It might be even somebody who's larger, but we do see here Brandy Johnson and Jennifer Silver hinting at a potential onboarding from Walmart and Amazon. It is possible that Amazon has been an e-commerce giant. But it is with two of the largest e-commerce platforms, so it might actually not be Shopify because I don't think that Shopify is that large compared to these two. And we have been talking about Walmart for a while in terms of the direct connections with Hedera. And we do see auditable enterprise grade security as well. Of course, ABFT would make it here, but new to the Coupon Bureau use case on Hedera Hashgraph, here's a thread for you as well. If you guys do want to go check this out, you guys are more than welcome to go check out Danny Ide. I definitely think that you guys should. And this is talking about the trust layer powered by Hedera. So, yeah. Just to kind of give you guys an insight on this, the reason why I bring up the Coupon Bureau is because this is a use case that we have been waiting patiently for. Because right now, like these 2.3 billion transactions, almost 2.4, do not matter. And I know that that's going to sound crazy to a lot of people because like this is only almost $240,000. Like that is not like this is not incredible to me. I think that too. A lot of people like they just see like this large number and they're just like, this is crazy, right? Because like it's more transactions than Ethereum. But the problem is that like Ethereum transactions cost way more to facilitate than Hedera. So, 2 billion for like for example like Ethereum might be trillions of dollars if you will. I'm just kind of like, exaggerating slightly, but you look at like an average cost of like even $15 per transaction, right? And you're looking at $30 billion roughly. So again, kind of comparing and contrasting that to like this, it's kind of night and day in terms of the cost per transaction. And they actually outline this on Hedera's website, where we do come to like the HBAR section where it's really kind of talking about HBAR. I don't know why this website is always kind of messing up for me. It's like kind of weird. But if I go to here, 1 second, let me pull this up. There we go. That's actually not what I wanted. I apologize, guys. Let me refresh this. Okay, so I finally got it to load. Anyways, so they're actually saying like the average fee here for Ethereum is actually $19.55, and when we're looking at that, that is $39.1 billion. That's pretty. That's that's an incredible difference compared to like what we have for Hedera, which at like that range. So like you just seen like $39.1 billion at this average fee for like 2 billion transactions compared to what Hedera's doing. That would be $200,000. So it's night and day, and this is also why like when we talk about like Hedera out scaling like the other networks, it's 100% going to with the average fee per transaction. But it also allows for max opportunity here for like huge use cases to go live on Hedera that need the demand of those transactions. Like for example, like when we're looking at like 2 trillion transactions on Hedera, that's only $200 million. And if you're looking at like 20 like $billion for Hedera, which is not even the transactional value of Ethereum's at 2 billion, you're looking at like roughly 200 trillion transactions on Hedera. This is why I say like this number to me is nothing compared to what it actually could be at some point in time. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.